For this AP discovery, yesterday we learned that the switches discovery on the controller is almost the same, but just don't have this layer 2 tunnel. They don't have the tunnel discovery. So this part we'll go into a little bit first, because you guys already see the broadcast, DHCP option 43, DNS, menu, web agent. This 5-way is same with the controllers. Just the controller have additional layer 2 tunnel discovery. That one's powerful, but this 5 is already enough for the APs. So it have the priority like the manual one. If you manually set the one, that IP address have the higher priority. That's mean if you have the one AP, you manually set the IP address, and then it manually get you set the IP address of the controller, and also they get IP address from the DHCP option 43. So which IP address they will use, which IP address of the controller they will use. Definitely they use manual one. So that is a priority. So this priority actually is not, but you need to understand they have a different priority for these different methods of discovery. Here in one project, we just use 1 or 2 methods. Let's state one by one. First was layer 2. Layer 2, once we need to just remember one says that this process is being handled by a broadcast package. You can see from here, our AP will broadcast. When we do the broadcast, there's a layer 2 package, and the destination MAC address is always FFF. So that is a broadcast package. So as long as it is same broadcast domain, that's usually says the same VLAN, we have the controller. Our controller will give this AP response, and the AP will find the controller. Same with our troubleshooting tool, with the troubleshooting tool or diagnose tool. That's the same thing, it's a different name. So when we have that tools, is also used this way to find our APs, because our AP, we connect the troubleshooting tool, the same with controllers, the AP just keep doing this broadcast. So once we find it, we give the reply, we find it. So the process is like they have this broadcast, and after our controller receive this broadcast message, they give the reply, and then AP receive this reply, and they will be discovered by the controller. Next is DHCP option 43. DHCP option 43, it's just to put that when the AP get the IP address, it's also get IP address of the controller in the DHCP option 43 field. So for this one, you can check this package in there. It has the option 43. This is the package we capture from the Wireshark, and then in the option 43, here's a value. In this value, if you read it in this volume, that is the IP address. So this is the IP address of our controller. So the whole process is the get IP address. The get IP address of controller is option 43 field, and then AP does the unicast discovery. So after you got the IP address of controller, you do the unicast. This time the unicast, and use this unicast package, we build up the connection with the controller on the port UDP 77. Another connection, just send a message in the UDP 777. So after this, the controller will give a reply, and the AP will be discovered. So this port is very important, UDP 7777. So when we do the remote deployment, we need to make sure that this port is be mapped out. So here's an example for how we can configure a DHCP, how we can configure the option 43 in switch. This is just one example because usually different switches have different command line. This is just one example. Just for example, we configure the DHCP pool and network reach, default gateway, DNS, and then we just type option 43. If you want to use that, it's in the hex mode, in the hex. So you just you need to transfer this IP address into the hex. And also it can be configured in the ASICO. And also the most simple way is IP addresses, so very directly. So because why we explain the three methods here, because some switches maybe the only support the hex. So in this situation, you need to find a way to translate this IP address from this uh, to the hex notations, this different way for IP address. So third one is the DNS. In the DNS, when our app be powered, they will try to visit a website like the www.wlan.com or another domain. They will try to visit this domain, and they will consider the IP address behind this domain's controller. So when we can configure our controller as we configure our controller as the DNS. Let our controller give the AP, give the AP the reply for this DNS request. They request the IP address of this specific domain. Our controller give it, and the IP address of this domain is themselves. So the AP will build up the connection with our controller. So this is the query. You can see the AP set the query. What is the IP address of the www.admin.com, and yeah, and also another one www.soundforwla.com. We ask this one, and our controller give it a reply. The controller reply the IP address of this URL. You can see from here is this one 192.200 for the 181. So that IP address actually is IP address of controller. So the controller will be online. So after that, the AP sent another message. The message is the unicast to the controller on the destination. The destination port is a 7777. So the after the controller receives this message, they give the reply, and the source port is the 777. The destination is randomly. This part is the same with the APs, but it's randomly. So after this, the AP will be discovered. So you can just approve. So this is how we configure the DNS. The DNS server will just configure as the controller. Here's you see the troubleshooting tool to configure the controller's IP address. We use this tool, discover the AP, and then once we find the APs, we choose that AP and choose Santi and choose the WAC. Here is wrong. We choose the WAC. With the WAC here, we input IP address of the controllers. So the controllers, so the AP will know the controller's IP address. This one is very useful. It can be used, like for example, we have a project. When they have the, for example, family mart. We need one AP per family mart per stop. Right now we put the controller in the headquarters, and then in the Wi-Fi remote we just need one IP. So we just use this tool, configure the IP address of these controllers, of the controller headquarters, and after we configure it, and then we deliver this AP to that specific store. When we connect their network, the get IP address, then the AP will go into the Ethernet and find our controllers. So the process is like unicast the AP, not the IP address. We build up the connection on the port UDP port 7777, and then the controller give a reply discovered already. Last one is a web agent. The web agent here is we use a server. We use a server. This server help us to that's why we call it agent, like the agent, like an agent. So because the APs because the IP address of controllers is always changing. For example, the controller use the PPOE. We need to change the AP will lost the connection to the controller. So every time the controller's IP address changes, they will tell to this agent, and this agent will give this IP address to the AP. So you can see the controller and the AP, the two both need to talk with the server all the time. So here we need a specific URL to apply from this web agent servers. This web agent server is owned by Sundray. So if we had project, we have a remote deployment, and their IP address for this controller is dynamic, or they will change in the future or something. So in that situation, we can apply web agent from Sundray to this web agent. It's just like the license king, but this is free. So this is a free service. This is a free service from Sundray. So when they give this license key, you input it into the controller, and also you can put it in the control. Yeah, you need to configure it in the controller and APs. Here is a notification about this discover the static configuration of this AP, because when we find the APs, there will have IP address in here. When we do the remote deployment, we need to make sure this IP address is correct. So here's the port that relative to the AP discovery and approve. So the port 77 is very important. The first port we need, the first talk between the AP and the controller, the unicast talk. So that is this part. So this part definitely we need to be open in your network, in the client network. If the client maybe configure some policy block this part, our AP cannot be discovered by our controller. And also the UDP 7077. We know that we have tunnel mode data. We have tunnel mode. We have bridge mode. So the UDP 7077. This is the port that we use to build up the data tunnel. So this is also very important. And also TCP 7070. After we discovered later we control the APs, we use this TCP 7070. So this is very important. And also the TCP 800. This be used for the AP to download the firmware from the controllers. So this part also very important, especially in the remote deployment. Our AP is far away from us. So once we updated our controllers, of course we need that AP automatically update the firmware from the controller. So if you want the AP to do that things, first make sure that we do the open port mapping on the port 800. Here's one notes. When we do the configuration, I think lots of these engineers haven't noticed by this one before. One is when we approve the AP, there is one IP address. This IP address for us to discover the AP, and then we put this AP in a specific group, and in that group we have the configuration for the group. So in this group, we can configure primary controller and the secondary controller. So what is the meaning of this? What is the difference between this IP address and the IP address in the group? The first one, the IP address is used for the discovery. They discover this IP address. They build up the connection of the 7070 UDP 777. So after that, if we don't have IP address in this group, so they will build up the connection in this AP discovery IP address. But if we have IP address in this primary controller or secondary controller, they find the controller through this AP discovery IP address, but they will build up the TCP 7070 connection, or later or UDP 7077, this connection with the IP address in the group, in this group, like with the primary controller or secondary controller. Why we have this design? I just give you one example, you will totally understand. Consider that our controller have many interfaces, right? For the NEC 210i, have the 3 service interface. For the higher model, they have the many interface. So we have one internet. So we have maybe we have the 3 interfaces. They have IP address. So which IP address we can talk? So we can, according to our network situation, or maybe in the remote deployment, you can consider about its bandwidth or its like the qualities. We choose a different priority for these controllers, for this tunnel, for the managed tunnel or data tunnel interface of these controllers.